Hey guys, it's CarGuy11. How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to talk about Geneva Auto Show and all the tons of reveals at Geneva. It's always such a large show, exotic cars, even all kinds of regular sports cars, sedans. So, I mean, definitely not going to be able to get through it all, but definitely going to want to cover the main your favorites. So in the comments, please please comment your favorites in the chat. And also, if you're listening to this or want to view it after, you can always find this podcast on iTunes. Just search for CarGuy11 on iTunes and you can listen to it. And then tonight we have my buddy Autonut, who most of you have probably seen before on other chats. So it's just going to be us two tonight, and definitely, you know, we want you guys to participate so that we know what to talk about and keep the conversation going. But there's tons to get to, so I think the first one that I'm going to bring up, and I know a lot of you guys are interested in as well, is the Toyota Supra. And this is very controversial because it wasn't really revealed. They keep teasing us forever about this car. And what was revealed in Geneva was the race car. So Autonut has it on the screen here. It is a race car concept, but pretty much it's going to look very close to this car without the wide body kit and the wing, of course. Although I don't mind the wing. So what do you guys think about the wing? But we got some guys joining in. Hey, Dan of New Jersey, how's it going? Tom Gear's on. How's it going, Tom? And
so first off, this it's funny that they decided to debut it with the race car version. You know, it's still this long tease. I mean, when they gonna stop teasing everybody about these cars? And I mean, it's center bolt and everything. I mean, this is a full blown race car, and I thought that was actually pretty hilarious.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what the delay is, but the other thing is this is a combo with BMW. So BMW Z4 will be built off the same platform, and BMW hasn't showed the Z4 either. So it's supposedly coming out for 2019, but I don't know. It's getting late, and you know, Toyota at least showed this, but I don't know, where's BMW's Z4 at?
Yeah.
But
so
some of the
good, sorry.
No, some of the specs I'm excited for. It's going to have a BMW 3-liter inline 6, which I know everybody wants the 2JZ Toyota power plant, but I'm actually pretty excited about it because I like the way the BMW straight 6 sounds. I always like those engines. It's going to be very torquey with it's going to have their twin turbo, or large turbo is what they call it, the power turbo, and should be around 335 horsepower, 330 torque. You know, we'll see. It should be fairly light. You know, no specs on the weight yet, but could be a fun car. I mean, it's not going to be overly large. I like smaller cars myself, and you know, it should have a manual. There's some talks that it could be auto only, but I'm thinking it has to have a manual as well. But,
so I wanted to cite something, but I can't find it right now. But there was they got a hold of the guy that's in charge of the BRZ and in charge of the Supra, and sort of sat down at the Geneva, and they had a couple questions for him. And one of them was about the engine, of course. And he said, yeah, it's going to be the inline 6 turbo. And then the next question was about the horsepower, and they're being really shy about that because everybody's like, well, the last generation ended with like 360, 334 or 3, I don't know, mid threes, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And his answer, which sort of alludes to what you were saying about horsepower rating, was, well, it's supposed to be a well-balanced vehicle. And when he starts talking about that, it's not going to be a high horsepower vehicle for sure. So that really makes sense if they're going to be in the low 300s again for this vehicle. So I thought that was pretty funny. The other thing was funny. He flat out said no manual in this article.
Yeah.
And he said because, and the funniest thing was, he said because most of the Supra buyers, his quote was, most of the Supra buyers aren't concerned with a manual. And the guy that was writing the article was like, I really doubt that's true.
I think they have to have the manual. I've read articles that the Z4 is going to be offered in a manual, so I can't see them not offering a manual. But you know, everyone's getting away from the manuals as well, unfortunately. So
right. If you can see the pedals here, I think this is pretty clever. Of course, this is the race car, but so what? You know, it's still pretty fun to see this. You can see the set of holes, so you can adjust exactly your pedal distances, you know, in increments here, so you can do heel to toe pretty easily and stuff. I'm always jealous of seeing that kind of stuff on race cars, because I would love to be able to adjust my cars, because that drives me crazy that I can't heel to toe. But that's pretty slick.
yeah, but I hope they price this car reasonably. In the 30s to 40s would be nice. It's probably going to be more than that, because even the BRZ gets or 86 gets up into the low 30s. So it's probably going to be starting high 30s, 40, probably close to 50. But and there probably is going to be a performance version as well. Like the BMWs always have the M version. So this power plant may not be, the top model. They'll probably come up with something closer to 400 horsepower, I imagine.
So the first thing I think out of some of the hardcore fans they're going to be questioning is the tunability of it. And
yes,
the one guy did talk a little bit about it, but what's your guess on that? I don't know too much about that BMW engine. I mean, are they known for being pretty stout? I mean, are they?
There are tunes available for them. There's a lot of BMW tuners, so a lot of people tune that straight six turbo. So yeah, there's definitely tunability to it. You can do the exhaust and intakes and all that. Maybe not to the extent of the whole Supra 1,000 horsepower, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, you could easily do 1,000 horsepower in that bottom end of the 2JZ, and it didn't. It handled it just fine. The rest of the car didn't, but the engine was always fine.
Right. And then some in the comments, Tom Gear's happy the straight six will be offered, and I am too. I don't want another turbo 4 engine. Susan's happy we started with Toyota. That's good. Yeah. Skyfish GHO. I think the Bugatti Chiron that they released is kind of ugly.
Wow.
In my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising. I did not. I'm a big Chiron fan, though, unfortunately, so my opinion's a little biased.
But he does like the Supra. He said these look cool.
Why don't we bring that up real quick? I just saw it right here. I'll bring it up real quick. But yeah, that's I don't know. Seems pretty nice. Sorry.
Alex says, "Hi, I watched your review of the Jeep Cherokee before I bought my own. I love mine so far. What do you think about the new one?" I actually have a video on a new one that I saw at the Chicago Auto Show. The front end's, decent. It is a different look. It's more mainstream. The main thing I didn't like was the new grille. Looks a lot cheaper than the old gen. It's not 3-dimensional like the one on mine, and I wasn't too happy about that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's a nice little update, not a huge change. I'd be happy. lot of change there.
So I have the Chiron up on screen, hopefully.
Yep, there it is.
I mean,
yeah, it's different. It's polarizing. I don't necessarily mind it. The big C on the sides are unique, especially in that color.
Yeah, it really emphasized that body line for sure. I love the headlights because they're so similar to the regular ones, but they just look more menacing or more evil-like. That always catches my attention. I think the 16, yeah, I understand that there's a symbolism there, but it looks tacky, to put that in the grill.
Right.
I would prefer it if that was all blacked out, but yeah, it's pretty sharp.
Yeah, and now this wasn't
what he thinks. What didn't catch his attention. What made it look ugly to him? I'm sort of curious. Not to say he's wrong. I love hearing other people's opinions about this stuff.
Yeah, he didn't comment on that. But now this model was not revealed in Geneva, just to be clear. So this was revealed last year, I think. So
really,
yeah, this wasn't a new model for this auto. So, but and then we got Tom Gear says the problem with the Supra is the BMW reliability. German cars like to drink oil, as you all know. But other than that, it's not going to be as reliable as a Toyota. But I don't know about the rest of the car, though. Is it going to be mainly BMW or mainly Toyota, switchgear and everything else? That part I'm not sure. So we'll have to find out more details. But the engines are pretty stout in the straight sixes. I mean, they've been making them forever. So
I'd have to say the mechanics are usually half decent, right? It's usually the electrical issues, or they're known to be glitchy, just like the Volkswagens and stuff. They're known to be glitchy, but they'll always pretty much start and take you from point A to point B. And I wonder if Toyota's influence, where they're more of a point A to point, they're more reliable when it comes to that kind of stuff. So wonder how much influence one another had over that. Like if they left all the drivetrain and everything to the Germans, suspension, drivetrain, drivability, and then did the body functions and everything and electrical to Toyota, that'd be pretty interesting combo.
Right.
I don't know how they split up the duties, right?
I mean, the BRZ and 86, it was a Subaru engine. We'll just have to see. Okay. Next car I wanted to bring up was the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, which is a slight update to the GT3 that just came out. Well, it's just hitting dealers and customers now. So basically a year later, we're getting the RS already. So I don't know, bring some pictures of that.
Yeah, just brought it up.
And Alex comments, just wanted to stop by and say thanks for your review on the Jeep. It definitely influenced me to get mine. Have a good night. Well, thanks for stopping by, Alex. And I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Sorry we bored you already.
He's a Jeep fan, so he's probably not super interested in the sports car side. But of course, I have both. But you never know.
You keep cutting in and out for me. I don't know if it's me or you.
If you can't hear well, I am using the wireless AirPods, so maybe I have to switch over if it's not coming through. But it switched over. Okay, there it is. One thing I love about the GT3 RS are the fender vents on the RS models. Only the RS gets those. And I really love that. It also has the larger wing supports and a larger wing altogether, which I like better. Maybe it's a little too high, but I like how they're metal supports instead of the plastic kind of body cladding type wing of the regular GT3. But performance-wise,
I thought they were just painted. I didn't know they were.
These
I
are
thought they were still.
aluminum,
Oh, okay.
metal. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Painted black, but
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because if you're going to have a big gaudy wing on your car, it better be 100% functional. And to have metal brackets bolted straight to the support braces and stuff makes more sense. I mean, if you want to have 150, 180 pounds of downforce, it better be able to hold that, right?
right.
That just bothers me if it's like bolted to the trunk lid or something. It's like, you mean you can put 180 pounds onto that? I doubt it.
Power-wise, the RS gets 20 more horsepower, 520. It's the same 4-liter, naturally aspirated. Lot 6, it's in the GT3, the regular GT3. So that's a great engine. Very happy it's still naturally aspirated. One thing, it's PDK only in the GT3 RS, which the GT3 offers both. So that may deter some people, although I think the PDK is the way to go on these Porsches. It's just so quick shifting and the blast to drive. And this is a track monster, of course. So this has the carbon ceramic standard. It has the bucket seats. Little bit more rigid suspension. It's not going to ride as well as the GT3.
Center lug, so you can't
center lugs, which I'm pretty sure the regular GT3 has those as well. I'm not 100% if they're standard, but yeah, you need a special torque wrench that can do 320 foot-pounds, something like that. So it's insane. So they're very difficult to remove. But anyway, yeah, that was revealed. It was actually revealed right before the show. The price is $188,000, where the regular GT3 started at 140, I believe, 145. So yeah, big increase in price as well. But they're going to sell every one they make, of course, because every GT car sells that way. So now I was a little disappointed we didn't see the new Cayman GT4 at Geneva. I kind of thought the GT4 was going to show up there, not this GT3 RS model. So looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer, possibly next fall, maybe at Frankfurt, one of the fall shows, for that model to be revealed. But definitely interested in that model, looking forward to that. So let's see. Susan wants us to talk about the Range Rover Velar.
Yeah, the two-door? Was that the two-door?
That was the one Doug DeMuro talked about. It's like the lower kind of coupe-like version. It's a 4-door, but it wasn't at Geneva. This was revealed. I don't know if it was revealed at a certain show, but earlier this year, and it's based off the Jaguar F-Pace SUV. So it's the Land Rover version of it, or Range Rover version of it. But it is sharp looking for sure. I don't know if you found that one, but it's not as off-road capable as a typical Range Rover because it is based off a car platform. So, but let's
I'm actually looking for it.
Okay. While you're looking, we can talk about, well, of course you got to talk about exotics at Geneva because it's an exotic car show, and of course it wasn't disappointing this year because what do you know, a new performance Ferrari debuted, and that's the 488 Pista, they call it. So this is the track ready race version of the 488. not that it needs more horsepower, but 710 horsepower versus what was the other one? 600 something. But anyway, it's over 700 now, and yeah, what a beast that's going to be. I don't know if you can bring that one up. I don't know if you can find.
I just got the LeVar up, so sorry.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's.
It was weird because all the pictures were like mixing different styles and stuff, so I had to actually go to the website because sharp. It's real sharp. I like the headlights a lot.
And it's very. I like the it's very fast looking. I mean, it's a fastback. The roof kind of comes down, and it is. I like it a lot. But again, it's not a typical Range Rover off road. It's more car based. Susan doesn't like that green of the Porsche. Likes the wing. Yeah, that green. Yeah, I don't know if I get it in that color, but yeah, that's pretty sharp.
Okay. What was the other vehicle?
That will be the Ferrari 488 Pista. And yeah, now Range Rover almost has too many models at this point. I can't even keep track of how many they have. So it is getting confusing and crowded, but people love them. But yeah, so many different models right now.
So what was the one they introduced at Geneva that was the two-door?
I'm
it was something
sure.
called it was like something real simple, like SV Coupe or SV something, or
I don't know. You have to look on the list of reviews or reveals.
I didn't get that one because I looked briefly and it was like this two-door, but it had huge back seats. It was really strange.
Mm.
So having a hard time finding the Ferrari too.
It should be the 488 2019 Ferrari 488.
There we go. Found it.
Okay.
So you have to sort through all the electrified cars, the EV cars.
Yeah, tons of EV.
And that's all people wanted to talk about. It's like I go through each one. It's like EV this, EV that. And I'm like, I want to get to the Ferrari. All right. Screen share coming up. Here she be.
There it is. And it has a typical special version stripe. So the Speciale and the Scuderias and all them have that stripe down the middle. Very cool. Of course, it has a weight loss. Let's see. Did they tell us the weight loss? 198 pound weight reduction. So
really,
yeah, yep.
I'm always impressed when you take a supercar and
get rid of that much more. Right.
I mean, they're already pushing their limits with hybrid materials, all kinds of crazy stuff, and to do something like that's a lot. Because automakers will get excited when they do like 75 pounds off of a Chevy. It's like, well, so what, But
right.
That's pretty amazing. That's like the Performante, right? They took off another 75 pounds off of that thing with the drop top.
Yeah, we can talk about the Performante. They reviewed or revealed the convertible version of that.
Yeah. Yep. 75 pounds lighter with a convertible.
Mm. And this, of course, is more powerful now than the Performante. 710 horsepower. Turbo. We're dealing with turbos now. No more naturally aspirated, unfortunately.
Was there another interview with Porsche? I forget what exact, but he said every vehicle in the Porsche lineup, including the 911, is on the table for electrification. Oh boy, the world we live in now. That's just that's the future. What was it, the Performante?
Yeah, Performante. So the Performante 631 horsepower. So I do like the Performante. That'd be tough. Which one do you guys? Which one would you guys prefer? The Performante, Huracan Performante, or this 488? That's a tough one. Let us know in the chat.
For me,
I would not get the convertible myself. I don't like how that looks with that open top. It looks unfinished or something. I don't know.
It's funny. It's like I would take the convertible and the Performante only. I wouldn't want the hardtop. So out of the two vehicles, I'd still prefer the Ferrari though. But with the open top would push me at a closer battle at that point. Before the open top, it would have been hands down the Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
it's wild. It's a good looking car.
All right. So
what else was there? There was the G-Wagon, of course. You can't talk anything car show without a G-Wagon popping up, I swear.
I didn't see what was it was the AMG, right? AMG version of the G-Wagon.
Yep.
Of course, that's even more LA.
Yeah. And then the old Porsche Mission E.
Yeah, that
changed a lot from last year, right?
That one, yeah, I was gonna bring up if you bring that one up. That is interesting because it's almost like a wagon or like almost like a SUV wagon. I'm trying to find it myself here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's strange because I could have sworn it was more of a sports car, and then all of a sudden I'm looking at this here, and I didn't get to read anything about it. I didn't have time, but it's like I don't remember it being like a lifted vehicle like that, where it's like almost it's like the new crossover, right? It's between it's between the CUVs and the sedans. Now it's like a new version of the crossover. I don't know.
Yeah, why they try? I mean, they always try to get to the mass market, and that's the CUV is right now. That's what's popular. So, but I don't think we need Porsches into every niche of the market. So,
their investors completely disagree with you.
I know.
They would produce Porsche Jeeps if they could.
Yeah, but I believe it's all electric as well.
Is it really?
Let me see. I'm going to bring it up here.
Yeah, it's all electric. Yep. Yeah, fully electric.
It looks almost like the Panamera from behind there.
What's going on with the roof?
I don't know. Yeah, that looks kind of strange concept, of course.
I wonder if there's too much paint on it to believe that it's a solar. But cool looking car. I don't see I'll tell you one thing I don't see. Looking at this picture right now, it doesn't scream Porsche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, the front end is definitely different. I don't know. Are they trying to go for a new look here or what?
Maybe that'll be the look of their electric series. But let me see.
All right. Zeke comments, sorry guys, but I just got here. Need to see what you're talking about. More than a couple of guys drooling over whatever the heck you've just fallen in love with. Yeah, we're trying to show them on screen as we talk about them. So he said it's the Porsche 4-wheel drive. Looks like an old Mazda. Okay.
I see that. Yeah, I can see that.
You know, a couple other ones that were interesting. Did you hear about the 4-door AMG Mercedes?
I was just looking at that right now.
Why don't you bring that one up? And to go along with it, really, is the the BMW M8 concept. And now that one is a coupe, the BMW, but I mean, no, it's a 4-door, but looks like a coupe. And then this is the competitor there, the AMG. So, man, they're really trying to expand that AMG model.
Yeah.
I mean, before it wasn't even anything, and then all of a sudden, like there's yeah.
I mean, every class of vehicle has an AMG version of it, right? I mean, it's weird.
Yeah, and I mean, it's again, they have the C class, they have the E class, they have the S class and coupe version. So how many
now the G class?
Yeah, how many models? I mean, geez, like I just can't believe it. I mean, that they can keep all these models around and be profitable. I mean, that's crazy. And then if you want to show the BMW version, they always copy off each other. All the Germans.
That's another weird thing. Is like, I understand if you copy per se because they're really hitting the market hard with something and they're getting a lot of attention. These cars can't have big market share, right? It's like, oh, we got to hurry up and, put a damp rag on their vehicle. And what does that really mean? Is it really worth the money, like you're saying, to do that? I don't know. Seems odd.
Yeah, I mean, it's cutting that market too thin, especially for BMW. BMW, doesn't have the volume like Mercedes, and
right.
I don't know how they're doing it, but now the BMW was a concept, but it's coming out. But it does look sharp, I have to admit.
Oh, is that the
that M8 Gran Coupe?
Gran Coupe, yeah. Okay. I know which one. That color was amazing.
Yeah, that green.
It's that weird green that turned bright silver, like bright silver when the light hit it. I was blown away. That was pretty cool. Green is definitely the color. We talked about this before. It's like any they keep throwing green.
Green is coming back for sure.
There it is.
For sure.
But this color was wild looking. I mean,
yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see any pictures of the actual car in Geneva. These are just like BMW pictures. Oh.
This was, you see the silver kicking in a little?
Yeah.
There's a better picture I saw. Hopefully it's in here. But
oh, there it is. Yep. Cool.
It's really wild looking.
Yeah, it
was a picture that was down on the hood that you really got to see the silver, and I was amazed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that color's not making production. That's probably $20,000 paint job.
Right. That's always another fun thing about that. It's like, why even show it, I guess. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's a concept.
Yeah. Anyway. Just for photos. And
not a big fan of the tailpipes. That looks really cheap. That looks like something they got out of Pep Boys. Yeah, I mean, you could change the sound by adding different dampeners in it. Almost, that's a little weird.
I guess it's not going to be an electric.
Yeah, good looking car. I like the yellow headlights. I mean, well, maybe that's just because of the amber, but the BMW pictures sort of make it look like they're tinted yellow a little. That's fun. Little GT look to it. Huh.
Right. Let's see, a couple others here. Zeke says Aston Martin's Lagonda Vision concept. Try to pull that one up.
Lagonda. Why does that sound? What's that familiar? That was Daewoo. Daewoo had that name.
Lagonda. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because I used to always joke. It was like, I'm here now. I'm Lagonda. when we were young when that came out, and yeah, it was the Lagonda. I swear, it's got to be really close. So
Yeah, look
the
for that
Lagonda.
one.
So who makes the Lagonda?
Aston Martin. No.
Oh yeah, okay, that was super concepty looking.
Oh, okay.
I did
Ooh,
see that.
that one reminds me of another one that looked pretty good.
What's that?
The new Polestar Volvo. On that one. That one looks really good.
It's Lagonza. It was Daewoo Lagonza. Pretty close.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's too funny. What was that car guy? I'm sorry, I missed that one. I was entertaining myself.
Volvo Polestar.
Yeah, the wagon, right?
No, it's. I don't think it was a wagon. It was their first. I think it's going to be all electric, or at least a hybrid.
Big surprise there.
Yeah, well, Volvo's going to all electrics, but it's called the Polestar 1, and 2020 it's supposed to come out.
Polestar, okay.
Yep.
The S90 Coupe Volvo will not build. I wonder why. Why they say that?
Oh, it's a plug-in hybrid. So it is a plug-in hybrid with 600 horsepower. So I'm sure it uses that same turbo and supercharged 4-cylinder that they use in all the models, pretty much, with electric assist.
Zeke has a few funny things to say.
Zeke says, if you're not hearing the song of a big V8, the wood noise has to go. A complaint I've seen about Tesla. Yeah? Wood noise. What's the wood noise? I don't know. What's he mean by that?
Thinking he's wind?
Oh, yeah, well, probably the wind noise. Yep. Yeah, that's typo. And the Lagonda has 4 doors with no B-pillar, like walking into a barn.
Yeah, I like that, though. That'd be pretty cool. Like the old suicide doors to the Lincoln. Continentals back in the day, no B-pillar, just that big open. They always show that in concept, but obviously they can't pull that off for crash test, you know? You always have those concepts where you have the rear doors, rear doors of suicide, and it's that would be fantastic. I'd love that, but I don't think they'll ever pull that off ever. Sort of one of those jokes, because if they could pull that off, then they could pull off my biggest thing I'd love to have is a 4-door convertible.
Right.
You know,
right. Yeah, not anymore.
Polestar's sharp. I mean, Volvo has a nice, clean look to them. I mean, their production vehicles, their concepts, they're doing pretty good. I was never a Volvo fan. I mean, a few years ago, if you said to me a Volvo, I'd just laugh, and you know, they looked ridiculous. They were sterile.
I'm not a fan of their new powertrains. I like the old turbo T6 and 5-cylinder and all that. But
what turns you off about them?
Not too exciting sound, or well, I haven't really driven any of the gas only models, but you know, I drive a XC90 at work, and the hybrid powertrain isn't the most exciting for sure. I mean, it has a lot of torque with the electric off the line, but the sound and the performance, it doesn't sound like a luxury vehicle, put it that way, or a performance vehicle.
You know, at that point, you think they'd try to almost mute it, you know, try to really quiet it down then, and almost make it seamless then. You know, if it doesn't have a good sound, then just hide it.
Right. I'd rather hear the electric motor whine. It sounds pretty cool sometimes.
So they should pump that in. They want to pump in intake noise. Maybe the next new thing is going to be pumping in the electric whine. The even the Bentley went plug-in hybrid, huh? That's saying a lot. Who the hell? I mean, who the hell wants a Bentley and say I want I want a hybrid Bentley? I don't think that's a big market. What do you? I mean,
I think they have to. They have to meet
just for cafe
Yep.
or whatever.
Yeah,
do something just to not get fined constantly. But they could just up the price. They could take the fines. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Do you think the Bentley owner is going to be like looked at any better because they own the hybrid version?
I don't think so. That's my point, right? It was like when the Escalade came out with the hybrid. Everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah,
it was like the Super Bowl car years
it's
ago.
okay now because it's a
yeah. Now it gets 9 miles per gallon.
Zeke says, interesting thing about four-door ragtop. Guys are restoring a slew of 1960 plus Lincolns, trying to find a sedan. Not there.
Yeah. Yeah, the 60 Lincolns were, I was never a fan when I was younger, but then it's a rare bird. I mean, they didn't make cars like that.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, this is the Bentley hybrid here. What's in the back there?
There's 2 bottles of champagne, and here's your cigar, your humidor, and
that's funny. Where'd the battery go?
Yeah. Oh, you gotta love those kind of vehicles.
And then Zeke says, do you guys know if the hybrids that use a small engine to charge a battery sound like a diesel locomotive? Not that bad, but what they do sound like is sort of like constant humming, which you don't get with the different engine speed. The engine note doesn't change, so it's just that constant.
You mean sort of like the Volt?
Yeah.
Where they have that small 3-cylinder that just sits there and hums at certain RPM.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was strange. We drove one. We drove one for a little while just to play around with it, and it was very interesting vehicle at the time. But yeah, when that kicked in, it was pretty funny. It just ran at a certain RPM. It wasn't like idle. It was like a 2,000 or so RPM, so you could hear it like humming along, and it was different.
Right. Hey, bring up the new Audi A6.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw that.
That one was revealed.
The RS6?
Right below it was the sedan.
Okay.
And we could start with this one anyway. So Audi, I don't know. To me now, well, they've always looked the same, but they really look the same now. I mean, every model is just, I don't know.
No major change in grille design, no major change with headlight. They sort of hit a good spot, and they're just sort of milking it, because when they did the one that you owned, actually was like that sweet zone, right? Mm-hmm. It was a very good looking Audi. What was that? The B6,
B8, A4.
B8. Okay. And they just sort of hung out with that, right? They just sort of hung there for a while. They hung there for a while to see what they can milk that design out to.
Yeah, and they're just, it seems like they're trying too hard. It's becoming over-styled. See if there's a rear picture or more pictures.
You think over-styled? Really?
Over-styled in the front. The front grille is like too much. Too big, too...
It looks plain to me. Honestly, I'm surprised you said that.
For as much going on in the front, yeah, it doesn't look. I don't love it. That's just,
so you're saying it sort of looks busy.
It's just very busy in the front, and it doesn't look great. So
yeah.
Where's the rear? Was there a rear?
Yeah, there was one back here.
And then
quarter rear. Let's try to find a direct rear.
Pretty generic. Yeah.
Now we're getting the.
And they have the fake exhaust. I've seen that. Those are not exhaust ports. Those are fake. They're just in the bumper. That's ridiculous. They're all doing that now. Why? All the Audis. I don't like that at all.
It's really funny because remember I was joking around with you about the MDX, our MDX, and when they did that, remember? And I said that's going to be the future. They're going to hide the exhaust, and they're just going to do this fake, thing like that. And then they went and changed it again. So like Acura touched upon it briefly and then went away, and then Audi's sort of embracing it. That's strange.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I mean, don't even put the fake exhaust in at all. But you could bring up the wagon too.
Now, can you see it like real well in there? Can you see like the center of it, or okay?
No, it's just a plastic bumper. Yep.
Yeah, it's
and
completely hidden. Huh.
Yeah, I've seen the Q5s like that. I seen it one today driving actually, and I was like, why is it like that? Zeke says.
And it was funny because Acura got away from that because they said they want to start trying to act performance-y again, right? So they got rid of it, and then Audi was always trying to be the performance driving car, and now they're doing that. It's like, where are they going? Are they losing their way too?
Yeah, I don't like it at all. So Zeke says, I prefer my Vet sound for the time being. A full electric Vet might be interesting though. They have a full electric Vet. I forget the company that made it, but they
700 and some horsepower all electric.
Did you hear about that too? Yeah. And,
I think we briefly talked about it like a few live streams ago, and it was different.
Yeah. And then Tom Gear says everything needs a V8.
We always know his disposition on this whole thing.
Now that looks a lot better. Almost the headlights look like a Volvo though with that Doors hammer.
Yeah.
Huge fan of.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
A huge fan of the wagon sports cars. Love them. Absolutely love them, but it's just not popular in the U.S. and we rarely see them. They poke out here and there, But
what's the rear look on that? Do they have a rear strap?
Partial rear,
rear. That's more. I don't love the Volvo taillights either though. Why are they're copying off Volvo now? But I do like that styling way better. Yeah, it has actual exhaust.
There you go. There's your quad tip exhaust.
Yep. Yeah, that's way better.
I mean, you got to admit that's a cool looking wagon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's now
you can fit your bike back there.
Unfortunately, we won't get this model in the U.S. That's the problem.
A lot of them, the leather wagons, they're still shy to bring them to the U.S., which I don't blame them. They're not going to sell them.
Yeah, so this is the old version of the 6, A6. So that's why it has that older look. But 649 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, like 600 power. But yeah, that's a pretty cool wagon.
I think that's one we were talking about. Zeke found the all-electric Corvette, 800 horsepower, and it was a stick, so that's probably the one. I remember it was a manual that was really
if you want to try to find that one to bring up, we can talk about that a little bit. Let me just think about and what else came in Geneva that anybody wants to talk about. I mean, there's so many. A lot of them, again, we don't get here. There was the hardtop Fiat 124, which is a hardtop that is removable. So like it's not like the Miata where it folds down. You actually take the hardtop off and put it back on.
So yeah, here's one of the articles about it. And 800 horsepower, broke the 220 mile per hour speed, 60 mile per hour, another 3 seconds, with the manual 7-speed.
And isn't it like 200,000 or something?
Oh, a lot more than that. They're going to produce 75.
Oh, yeah,
$750,000.
$750,000. So
I
that's
can make one cheaper than that.
it looks exactly like the C7 inside.
Yeah. It's there was an interior picture down here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. You know, I mean, that's probably one of the stigmas of electric cars and stuff is why do they have to look stupid? You know, why can't they just have this? So they're starting to do that now, at least, and I think it's going to help with adaptation more for sure.
Yeah, it's tough though. It's tough for any niche car maker to make money, or they have to sell a car for that much money just to stay alive.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not making tons of money off of it too.
Right.
I thought, wasn't there rumors that Alfa Romeo was going to debut the new 4C or like the concept 4C?
What they have is a version. It's called the Nürburgring version. Let's see. There is pictures of it. It's just that basically, there it is, competition only.
And then the Nürburgring edition for the Quadrifoglio.
Okay, yeah. So they're just color and trim, but nothing new. But I'm definitely interested in that 4C when they refresh it or redesign it. But Zeke says that GXE looks like a typical C7. Yep.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right?
So I don't know. Anything else interesting there? The Mercedes C-Class got a refresh. C-Class is, I think, a nice little, more reasonably priced Mercedes.
Yeah.
But they just have too many models right now. Can't keep.
I just hate brands are diluting themselves. I've complained about this in the past. I mean, even Tesla's doing it, right? They want to do a mainstream car. So they're, don't dilute your brand like that. I mean, every single one has a cheap version now, and it's just, I don't know.
Right.
It's silly. But.
All right, guys. Well, I could probably about end it here. We're about an hour. Unless anybody had anything else to talk about. A couple more comments from Zeke. Twin electric motors are stuffed under the hood. Yeah, he's talking about the electric ZR Corvette again, producing 800 horsepower at the wheels and 700 pound-feet of torque. 5 battery packs are good for 61.6 kilowatts of storage for a range of 175 miles. Zeke, stay tuned for the C8 because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a hybrid version at some point. Not when it comes out, maybe not when they release it, but I'm thinking the next ZR1 is going to be a hybrid, and Tom Gear is going to freak. But
I have a theory. I have a theory that they're going to actually do an electric version of the C7 before they farewell it, before they say goodbye.
I
really do. I know. I don't think too many people are going to agree with me, but I want to go on record here saying I think, because there's been some weird photos that people are finding where they're doing a lot of testing on a C7 frame. So why would they spend that much money adding batteries and stuff like that to a frame that's obsolete?
Maybe
that's really odd.
Maybe the C8 is an adaptation of the C7 frame.
Possibly. If it is, that would explain that for sure. But
Zeke says, unless of course you drive with a rock on your right foot, which you will lower the range significantly, of course. Yeah, with these electrics, especially if you go up hills. And in Pittsburgh, we have tons of hills, so our range here is not going to go very well. very long.
You got to be good with that regenerative braking, right? You got to.
Well, yeah, downhill's downhill. You can charge it back up.
You got to be light on the throttle going uphill, and then really get all the regenerative braking you can going downhill. Not as much loss of energy. Somebody asked, what's that? Jeremy asked about what do we think of Civics?
Civics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Type R. I mean, for me, it's overstyled. It's a little too much for me, but I'm glad they brought it here finally.
I'll say one thing about Civics. I think they're super underrated for a first-time buyer. You know, kid that's 16 to 20 years old, wants a cheap, fun car, get a Civic manual. They last forever. They're still dependable. You can still get to work or school, whatever you're doing, and you can still have fun with them, you know, depending on which model and stuff. And they're so tunable. I mean, you can go anywhere. You can go to the parts store. You could go to Pep Boys, and they have 1,000 things for a Civic, right? And it's not like you have a lot of money when you're that age and you want to customize your vehicle. So I think that's pretty fun. And
great gas mileage, economical.
Yep. It's realistic for a lot of people, especially that live up north that have inclemental weather. You know, I mean, if you live in Florida where you never see any snow, then maybe that doesn't make as much sense.
And Jeremy, if you watched my channel, the Cheap Car Challenge, I had a 93 Accord with almost 200,000 miles on it. And it made it. Yeah, I won the challenge. So it made it almost 1,000-mile trip. So
yeah, he's saying boring as hell, but so reliable. And that's why you definitely have to get some sort of edition, SI edition, even the older ones, SI edition, or something with a short ratio, 5-speed, 6-speed, because you got to make up for the fact that there's no torque in those engines.
The problem I have with them now, they are overstyled every model. It's just too much. I don't know. They were so simple and nicely.
That's Japanese for you right now because they got picked on for so much. Look at Toyota.
Yeah, now Toyota's the same way.
Yeah. They got picked on about them being so bland and vanilla. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll show you. And then they went the exact opposite way. And now they're ridiculous looking.
Jeremy asked a good one. Mustang or Camaro?
Neither, GTO.
Well, Jeremy, I don't know if you know, I owned a Mustang, and now, of course, I own a Corvette. So it's tough, but I'm gonna have to actually go with Mustang. I like the styling better. Not a huge fan of 2018 Mustang refresh, but the previous refresh, I like the Mustang better.
My old joke is the ultimate car would be a Mustang with a Camaro driveline. That would be the best car out there.
Engine's better, but and a trans.
Did you hear me or did I cut out?
No, I heard you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a Mustang guy, but likes the Camaro.
Yeah, they're both.
I mean, the Camaro is going to be better performing, so it's going to be faster. But all right, I think we covered everything. And if you guys want to comment, if you're listening, you go ahead and comment below what your favorite cars were, and join us in a future live stream. We'll probably have one after the New York Auto Show, which is actually at the end of this month. So it's the very end of March. So that should be a good show. It's always a good show in New York. Actually, that's the only show I haven't been to. Only major U.S. auto show I haven't gone to yet. But one of these years I'm going to go. But all right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for your participation. Thanks, Autonut, for joining me. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a good night, guys. See ya.